What up, what up? NFL Week 8. Man, Week 8. That, for saying that out loud, seems crazy. This season is flying by. We're just getting to the halfway point. I know we got 18 weeks, so we're still a week off. But still, bro, it is crazy how fast this is going. We've got some exciting games to talk about. We'll just hop right into it. Man. This AFC playoff race is crazy close, especially with what happened today. Bengals picking up a dub, Chiefs taking a loss. It seems like everybody over the AFC is 6-2. So, man, the Bills are 6-3 or 5-3. We got the Bengals at 4-3, something like that. Man, sheesh. AFC is gonna be crazy. But let's hop into these games. Pats, Dolphins, nothing special today. You know, the Pats just went out. They put on a decent game for themselves, but we knew the Dolphins were going to win this game. And I guess I shouldn't say that because there was a lot of games. Again, last week I was horrible in my predictions. This week I wasn't great either, but I was better. And there were still some crazy games that I don't think people would have expected. So I guess we can't be saying that right now. But Dolphins took care of business at home. Got that offense going, 31 points, 17 on the Patriots side of things. And we'll just continue to move on. Battle of New York was ugly, fellas. It was so, come on. The Jets, I expected a lot more. Especially when I saw Tyrod Taylor gone, I was like, okay, Jets. I switched, I wasn't even worried about watching the game. And especially when I saw, DeVito had negative passing yards in the second half. Negative! And it was still a walk-off field goal to send it to OT, and then to walk off to win it. Greg Zuerlein coming in clutch, player of the game today. Zach Wilson looked all right throwing the rock. 240 passing yards, but man, he couldn't get the ball in the end zone that much. Only one touchdown on the day. 2 fumbles is what really killed the Jets, and the fact that they had no running game. Breece Hall had a day, but it was all as a receiving back. He did not. I think he was 12 carries for 17 yards? Something. It was something horrendous. He is averaging less than 2 yards a carry. That is terrible. And Dalvin Cook still isn't getting that low. Get him out of here. Please trade him by Tuesday. Deadline coming up. We got to be talking about that too. We got so much to talk about in the NFL. NBA started. Life's going crazy. Sports is at a peak right now. We got the World Series of baseball tied up at once. It's just fun. It's a great time to be alive right now. The Giants still look bad. Who knows when Daniel Jones is going to be coming back, but who knows what the Giants are going to be doing. Trade Saquon? Trade the whole team? Trade Darren Waller? I'd love to see it. Jags Steelers was about what we expected. Unfortunately, we saw Kenny Pickett go out with an injury. Mitch Trubisky didn't look great. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions on 150 passing yards or so. Nothing to get excited about. Deontay Johnson looked good in his return. Najee Harris, 7 carries, 13 yards. Warren James, I think his name is. I think I learned that. 5 carries, a couple yards. Nothing exciting. The running game just still isn't there. Not much they could do. The Jags did okay. Again, not an amazing game from them either, but they're, in that AFC, top of the AFC, so they're out here battling. Falcons, Titans, both teams with quarterback controversy now. Come on. Ryan Tannehill goes out. They had a bye week last week. Will Levis came in. I think we were all expecting Malik Willis to start, but no, it was Will Levis who comes out and throws a game, bro. 4 touchdowns for the young rook, 3rd round pick. Man, he looked good. 238 yards to go with the win. Hey, D-Hop is still here. He was open. Sometimes Will just chucked it up and let D-Hop go make a play. And if you're a young quarterback, that's what you should be doing, right? Go let your playmakers be playmakers. And Ryan Tannehill did not do that enough. It also helps when Derrick Henry has a great game himself. 168 rushing yards, I want to say. That's going to take a lot of pressure off a young quarterback. Titans actually look good for once in this season. Though it was against the Falcons, who have always been shaky. Desmond Ridder actually gets pulled from this game. Taylor Heineke comes out, and he does okay. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. Arthur Smith came out after the game and said, we didn't bench Ridder for performance-based reasons. They said something was off about him. They said it was medical issues, but we don't really know what that means. So, I don't know. Take that how you will. Again, Arthur Smith confuses the heck out of me, so I don't know anything that's going on with that offense. And I'm not going to continue to guess. I'm just done. I'm just done with that offense. I mean, Bijan Robinson. Okay, come on. Can we talk about that for a second? Actually, we might be making a whole separate video on the Falcons offense later this week. Why do you draft Bijan Robinson at the number 8 pick? That was a reach. Everybody agreed. That's a reach. That's a high for a running back. And then you only give him the ball 11 times? And only once, I don't get it, bro. Is he not healthy? I don't get it. Moving on. The Texans and Panthers top picks duel. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. It's the game everybody who isn't fighting for a playoff spot wants to see, right? Top picks. What is our future going to look like? Who's better? Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. And I predicted the Texans. I thought the Texans were a little bit better of a football team. But Bryce Young comes out. He outduels CJ Stroud. I know their two are buddies. But it's fun to always go up against your buddy. It brings out the best of you. And I think that's exactly what happened with Bryce Young and CJ today. Though neither one of them played amazing, Bryce Young had a better day. 235 yards and 1 touchdown, which is his best game of the season. CJ's not his best, with only 140 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. It was a game of field goals. It was not that exciting of a game to watch, but to see these young two guys go at it, it was cool. And the Panthers pick up their first dub of the season, which is exciting for me as a Cardinals fan, because maybe we can get that first pick still, And we have the Texans picked, so seeing the Texans lose is also a good thing. Hey, Rams, Cowboys, man, Cowboys are here. They're here. They are still a threat. Be watching out for them, boys. They just got to get more consistent, right? I don't think we've ever accused the Cowboys of being a consistent football team. They're consistently average. They're consistently an 8-8 team, right? That's about it. We got to see them put 3, 4, 5 games together and really go on a run, especially coming up here as we do near the mid-season mark. Cowboys got to go on a run, convince us that they're here. I would like to see the Cowboys make a couple moves still. 2 of the Cowboys' NFC East rivals go up against each other. The Eagles battle with the Commanders. Who expected that? Again, they had a close game the last time they met earlier in the season, and it was a close game again this time. Just a little bit higher scoring. 4 touchdowns from both quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, Sam Howell. He played a great game. He had a pick, but he had 397 yards with 4 touchdowns, man. 4 touchdowns, 397 yards. You heard that right from a Commander who only scored 7 points last week. I don't know what happened last week against the Giants. It's not like the Giants have that much better of a defense than the Eagles. I don't even think they have better defense than the Eagles. But somehow they got it together. They went out. They put on a show. They battled with the Eagles. Unfortunately, that Eagles team is just so good and, still came out on top. Jalen Hurts looked like the quarterback he was last year. He was throwing that rock. 319 yards for him. 4 touchdowns with a few rushing yards in there as well. Great offensive battle. Great. I don't know what happened to either defense, because usually those are pretty decent defenses. They did stop the run very well on both sides. Brian Robinson had himself a good game, I guess, 97 yards, which really looks like they're shoving Antonio Gibson out the door. Does he get traded the next couple days? The Seahawks, they look good in them throwback uniforms, but they don't look that great on the field, but still pull off the dub. PJ Walker, just couldn't get it done for the Browns. It was just, what can you expect from a third-string quarterback? They just came up short. That's really all. This was a pretty boring game, honestly. Nothing exciting really happened. And we'll see how good either of these two teams are, but I think they're both pretty mediocre at best. The game that blows my mind of the day, Chiefs lose to Denver. We watched this game on Thursday Night Football just a few weeks ago, and neither team could put the ball in the end zone, and that really happened again for the Chiefs this week, but Denver is the one who figured out how to get the ball in the end zone. 3 touchdowns for Russell Wilson. This might be his best game as a Bronco, though it only came with 160 passing yards. But what happened? What happened? And really boils down to turnovers. Patrick Mahomes had 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, and a fumble lost. That just can't happen. That's just not something you ever think Patrick Mahomes would do. And it happened. Regardless, he still threw for almost 300 yards and still couldn't get the ball in the end zone. Had to settle for 3 field goals. Harrison Butker's killing it in fantasy, but goodness, put the ball in the end zone. look for the Chiefs to make some trades, whether it be on the offensive line, shore up the wide receiver core, or maybe even do something to bolster the running game. Isaiah Pacheco's been okay, but outside of that, it's been pretty horrible. There was 5 turnovers in the game too, so Patrick Mahomes isn't the only one to blame for turnovers. 2 receivers had, I can't even remember, I think it was McCole Hardman and MVS, both had a fumble loss as well. It was a rough day to be a Chiefs fan. That's what really brings the AFC so compact. There is no front runner now. Everybody's sitting at 6-2 or 5-3 or even 4-3, talking about these Bengals next, who just came out and gave the 49ers their 3rd loss in a row. What is happening in San Francisco? Brock Purdy did look a lot better than he has. He threw for 350 some yards, ran for another 60 yards. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, both over 100 yards. George Kittle almost 150, but 3 turnovers for Brock Purdy again. 2 interceptions, another fumble loss as well for this quarterback. The Bengals were getting after it on defense. They really were. Jamar Chase is always open and still remains open. Joe Burrow showed off that mobility, which is huge. That is so good to see. We need Joe Cool to be able to move in the pocket. He ran for almost 60 yards again. And that is just having that ability to make plays with your feet really keeps the defense honest. So he can do a lot more with his arm, his feet. That offense is just going to be more flowing. The Bengals, they're moving. They're rolling. They come out of their bye and they start swinging again. Hit another NFC West. That's 3 NFC West opponents in a row that they have beat. And the Niners, who were at the top of the NFC, they're faltering, man. They're faltering. What do they got to do? What do they got to figure out? We know they have an elite defense. We know that they have a great running back, great tight end, decent receivers, and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. We got to see Deebo Samuel get back to 100% healthy. But, sheesh, what is the issue? What is going on? And bye week coming up here soon, I think, for the Niners, and that's going to be huge. But really, are they going to make any changes themselves? I don't know. It's going to be an exciting trade deadline. But to finish it off, we got 2 more games. Vikings, Packers. Vikings get the dub. Jordan Love looks horrible again. It's like 4 games in a row now. And, the whole offense didn't look good. It wasn't solely Jordan Love's fault. Nobody looked good. The Packers don't look good at all. They've lost to some horrible teams. Kirk Cousins is the real story of this game, though. Tears his Achilles. He's done for the year. No more trade talks for him. Maybe they move him in the offseason. Do they try and go get a quarterback? Do they try and salvage their season? Probably not. I think they just tank the rest of the year. What do they have to play for? Chargers rolled the Bears. Justin Fields again injured. And Bagnett, he put on a show. He did his thing. He did the best he could. But the Bears are still a bad team. And again, like I said, I think the Chargers are a decent team. They kind of showed that out. Austin Eckler had himself a day. And they're going to figure it out. Come on. Chargers are going to be fighting for that AFC wildcard spot. And I don't think it's a question. But now I'm just glad that they showed it out to the people now. Now the people know. But that is it for week 8. We got Monday Night Football still to come. We got Raiders. We got Lions. Should be a fun one. I got the Lions winning this one. But let's see what's going to happen the next couple days. We got a trade deadline coming up. So we should be talking more football here soon. And I'm excited. Keep watching some football. Keep watching some baseball until, this series wraps up. We got basketball now. It is a beautiful time, fellas, like I said. And I'm here for all of it. And if you are too, don't forget to subscribe, like it up, run this channel up, man. We're here.